All right, guys, happy New Year, everyone. It's fairly early on a New Year's Day, January 1st. I had no intention of making a video today, but there's something that I want to talk about that I think is very, very important. Very important. I hate there's so much negativity in this industry, right? That we see people just being sarcastic and nasty and negative constantly. It's such a turnoff, and it's a turnoff to dog owners and dog trainers all over. But I want to speak about something that's going to come off as very negative, but I think it's really important for dog owners out there to understand what they're looking for and to be aware of what's out there, and for dog trainers also. So I just did an online session this morning, first thing this morning, 8 a.m. with a new client. Rottweiler, a few years old, aggressive towards dogs, towards people. This owner's trying to do the right thing and has been through multiple trainers, and they're from overseas. And what I was told today disturbs me so much. Disturbs me for any dog, but as anyone who knows me, that Rottweilers have a very special place in my heart. And I always try to go above and beyond, because if we don't take the right route with these dogs, I know how it ends up, and it's never good. The dog's never going to benefit, and people are going to get hurt. So, of course, I got the history of the dog. I wanted to know all the information that I can. Sorry about the dogs barking. That's not mine. That's my neighbor's dogs. They bark non-freaking stop all night long. So anyone who's done online stuff with me, know I'm really to the point and very detailed, and going over what the owner or trainer truly understands from the dog's end is really important. Like, we have to have a solid communication system there, right? Based off trust and clarity. Like, it's basic and simple. Nothing fancy about that. No secret sauce, no secret methods or techniques, whatever. This dog has been through multiple trainers, and the issues have gotten worse. Very simple. Why? And by the way, a couple of them I know. A couple of them are regarded as some of the best, right? Some of them I like. And they may be really outstanding in certain aspects of dog training. I definitely think so. But when it comes to dealing with this type of stuff, the truth is, and this is going to ruffle a lot of feathers, but honestly, I don't give a fuck. The truth is, very few people out there have success when dealing with truly difficult dogs, especially when it comes to aggression. People don't like me saying that because it comes off as super arrogant and super cocky, right? But that's why I promote certain people, right? It's why I push people toward people like Jay Jack and Dylan Jones, because they're doing it right. But you're actually seeing what they produce. I don't even throw myself in there, but I've done it for a really long time, and I've shown it. So I think I have the right to speak about it a little bit, because the only thing I care about is what's best for the animal, the well-being of the animal, right? So I wanted a lot of details on what was done with this dog. And for one, when the owner finally found, I think it was the last trainer, like, she started realizing, I need to learn more. I don't want to board and train. I want to do private lessons so you could teach me. They wouldn't do that. They convinced her to do a board and train, of course, because it's a lot more money. I get it, right? And really didn't get any private lessons once she asked for them, which is fucking insanity to me. That's just a waste of money. You're throwing your money away, right? So people who are looking for dog training, look for that. If you're going to pay several $1,000s for a board and train, and you're not going to get the proper education after the fact, you're throwing your money away. Don't do it. Plain and simple. What we do as dog trainers is temporary. If we are going to make it permanent, that comes through the owner or the trainer, whoever, right, has the dog. Very, very important. So my first question is, okay, so if this dog isn't able to be around strangers or handled by strangers, tell me how they handle the dog. Was the dog handled with a bite suit on, safe equipment, so the dog can exhibit the unwanted behaviors and we go from there? No, it wasn't. So these are things you have to look for. When you got the dog back, what was the personality like? Well, down, really down, scared to make the wrong move, even around the owner, was not the same, was a shell of itself. That dog's telling you everything you need to know. That dog's telling you what I went through was bad. It wasn't productive. And what those trainers did was they made the dog realize, yeah, I need to be worried about humans. I knew I was right about these fucking savages, right? That's what the dog is telling you. This owner had good intentions and they try to do the best thing. But dog trainers are really good salespeople. So they convinced her to do this. But some of the things that they told her after the fact, and I'll try not to ramble too much here because I know I ramble a lot. Dante's waiting to play. Basically, in a nutshell, this dog is to live the rest of its existence locked up in a crate or under strict dictatorship at all times. You should not play with this dog ever. There's no reason to play with this dog. When she picked her dog up, she asked if she could pet her dog. They said, why? I don't pet my dogs, right? They wouldn't let her even interact with her dog like that. A living, breathing, emotional creature whose trust was just severed, and now you're telling her, no, you can't show any affection to your dog. That's fucking insanity. Now, you guys see when owners pick up their dogs here, I have no rules, right? If the dog wants to jump all over them and be excited and be happy, if the owners want that, I'm okay with it. Like, it's your dog. Do what you want. Just understand, if you get crazy, the dog's going to get crazy. But I want the dog to be who it is, as long as that's what the owner wants, right? There's so much more we can go into this here. But the fact that this dog is not to interact with anyone, what did you do with a board and train? What was the purpose? Why was it needed, right? What was the objective of the training? Don't play with this dog ever. Don't allow this dog to bite things ever. Well, I'm going to tell you this. Everything that she was instructed to do, I do completely opposite. 100% opposite. My job with that dog, number one, is to get that dog to trust me, right? To allow that dog to make bad decisions. And if it's going to bite me, it's not going to be in a muzzle. Because for one, ask yourself, how do I get a muzzle on that dog? It's not going to be muzzled. I don't like muzzles. Will I use them if I have to? Sure, but I try to avoid it. I'm going to put a bite suit on for as long as I have to take that dog out to go to the bathroom and interact with it. That's it, right? And once that dog sees going after me or biting me doesn't work anymore, that's very powerful right there, right? When that dog tries to do something that normally works and gets people to back off, doesn't work anymore, that's very powerful there, right? And guess what? I'm going to get that dog to play. That's my first thing. We're going to build our whole communication system through that play, because once that dog decides he's okay playing with me, everything else falls into place. If you guys go back to I think the last time I posted videos like this, because now I keep most of these videos for my clients. So I just sent her a bunch of videos to back what I'm saying, right? Where you don't have to annihilate the dog. What was their go-to? Well, the dog shows any aggression, the e-collar's going up, we're going to fry him, right? We're going to fry him. We're going to pull his head off with the prong collar. We're going to show him that that's not acceptable. The problem is, if you don't truly understand how the dog sees punishment, all you're doing is being an abusive asshole. And that's the majority of what we see out there. Is it popular? No. Do I give a fuck? Fuck not. Because I back what I'm saying. And there's other people that do also, right? For you guys that follow me, if you go back to all those videos I posted with Ranger about 3 years ago, I did that for a reason. I don't have someone following me around with a camera. I do this on my own, so it's hard for me to film things, and I don't care about filming things anymore. I'm done with that. I'll do it every now and then, but it doesn't interest me anymore. I've shown it. With Ranger, I filmed everything because I wanted people to see if I just come in and try to hammer this dog and dominate him, he's never going to come out of where he's at now, what he's been trying to do his whole life, right? That's it. It's that simple. And it doesn't matter the cause of it. If he's going to think he has to attack people, whether he's just a strong, confident, dominant dog or a scared dog, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. We don't want those behaviors, period. So we have to bring out the best in that dog. So with Ranger, that's exactly what I did. First few days, he only went out with a bite suit on. Once I knew I could trust him, that was gone. Now my next job is to get him to play with me. Was he going to play with me? No, not at first. But eventually I saw a little bit of life, right? And once we did that, you saw what that turned into. That's all he wanted to do. He was crazy about me. I became the love of his life because of that. And our whole language, our whole communication system was built into that play. I never had to punish that dog the whole month he was here until the day he went home with his owner sitting at Starbucks. But again, when we hear punishment, it's not what people think, right? Not even close. So during that stay, I had all the same experts, like what this woman worked with. I had those experts post publicly and send me messages explaining to me why I should not play with this dog, why I should not allow this dog to bite things. All the experts came out, right? Because they think they know what they're talking about. But the truth is, none of them do. None of them do. The amount of people, the percentage of dog trainers that deal with difficult dogs like that successfully, when I say successfully, not just the dog's not doing it, to where the dog doesn't want to do it, doesn't care about doing it. The brain is truly changed, not because the dog is cowering around and scared to make a mistake. That's not dog training. You're not accomplishing nothing except being an asshole piece of shit savage. That's all you're doing, right? So I had all those experts tell me I shouldn't do that. And then, well, how's this going to translate in the real world? Well, I don't argue. It's, well, we'll have to wait and see. But for 3 years, his owner has sent videos of him out in public, off leash. Again, something I've talked about. Getting your dogs to be off leash is really freaking important. Really important. That makes everything so much easier. But if you can't get your dog to be off-leash reliable out in new, strange places with dogs and people around or animals around, how are you supposed to deal with the most difficult problems? It makes no sense, but yet people still do the same shit, right? But 3 years later, you've seen that dog off-leash in public playing with complete strangers. We changed his life. That was 10% me, 90% amazing owner. But that 90% owner has to be given the education. And it's our job to bring the best out of that dog. Am I a force-free trainer? No. Do I have to use a lot of punishment in dog training? No. Am I against punishment? Absolutely not. Right? I just sent several videos of actual productive punishment. So this woman can see, holy shit, okay, this goes against everything I've been taught and told. It's not just one thing. You're not going to just add some type of productive punishment. And I keep saying that for a reason. And those that work with me understand what I mean. Okay? Instead of just abusive, negative reinforcement. Now, there will be a bunch of people that comment on this and they'll agree with everything I say. And they're like, yep, I know, I do this. But the problem is, a lot of those people that will comment on this, maybe this will win in the comments, are part of the problem. You just don't know it. And you don't know it until you see someone who truly understands what they're doing. And I know that sounds incredibly, incredibly arrogant, but it's not. It took me a long time to truly understand this stuff. It took me a long time to truly understand how the dog sees the world when it comes to stopping serious unwanted behaviors. So all the money this poor woman spent on a dog that she loves dearly and literally made everything worse because of ego and lack of knowledge. And when someone doesn't truly know what to do, they always turn to force. Always. Yell louder, correct harder. Yell louder, correct harder. This is another dog. It's proof that, like, that's never going to work. There has to be more. There has to be more to it. So I don't guarantee a lot in dog trading, but I will guarantee this, that 1 hour session I just did with her overseas through the phone will get her way further than all the thousands of dollars that she spent on other trainers. Guaranteed. There's no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. 1 hour over the phone, because I'm able to give her stuff that she could actually benefit from. The dog's going to benefit from. And I could send her stuff to show her this is what we were talking about. Take a look from different perspectives, different dogs, different setups, different situations, but it all has one thing in common. You see the dog going, oh, okay, this makes a little bit of sense now. And you never have to be a brutal, savage piece of shit to the dog just because you don't know what to do. So for dog owners out there, man, you got to stop just sending your dog to anyone. Websites mean shit. You need to talk to many, many, many clients that had dogs that were like yours, and you want to know, what do they look like today? What do they look like today? Is that problem truly eliminated, and do you have a dog that's living its best life? If not, what's the purpose? You know, this owner said something very, very sad, but very intelligent at the same time. You know, and it was heartbreaking to her. She said, you know, there comes a time where I'd rather put this dog down than have him live in a life of misery, locked up, kept away from everything. I can't show him any affection. I can't play with him. I can't do anything. All the things that are deep inside him that genetically he needs to feel great about himself, she's been instructed, don't ever let him do that stuff. It's fucking insanity. Like, dog training is a disgusting mess. And that's why you see me posting things less and less, because it's like, I'm going to focus on the people I work with and not so worried about showing so much on social media anymore. I'll save that for the people that really need it and that I work with, so they have an advantage, right? And that's why a lot of my clients that I've spent no time with in person are doing better than a lot of professional dog trainers are when it comes to dealing with difficult stuff. And that's a fact, right? The one thing that's going to help this woman, you guys have heard me promote things in the past from other people. I don't promote my own stuff very much, but I will always send people to people that I trust. And if they have good stuff out there, I do it all the time. You guys know that. But the one thing I did tell her, she recently bought my video through Sit, Stay, Learn on the communication stuff, all the basic stuff. That's an incredibly valuable video. I could say that, and I never say that. But I made that video based off of what people need and don't have. Everyday people, everyday dog trainers. There's nothing fancy or sexy about it, right? But if you could just master the stuff in that video and understand, it's a good jump start to where we need to go. So then spending the $79 or $59, it's always on sale, on that video, you're not going to have to keep doing sessions with other trainers to learn that stuff and spend hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. You have it there. If you master that stuff, then when you do work with a competent trainer, it's going to be that much easier. Okay? So please keep that in mind. Like, I want the best for people, and I want them to stop getting taken advantage of and spending thousands of dollars and then losing their dog anyway. Most of these dogs are not that difficult to turn around. A male Rottweiler who's a few years old who wants to hurt people and dogs, it's difficult. It's really difficult. I know the breed. It's not easy. He's had a long time to rehearse these behaviors, and then his trust has been severed. It just made everything worse by confirming to that dog, humans do really suck. You understand? Now we have to turn that around. So if that dog came to me, right, he's not going to be put in a situation where there's dogs around, except for my dogs. He's going to be staying with my dogs. And he's going to blow up as soon as he sees them, and my dogs aren't going to care. And after 10 minutes, he's going to go, fuck. Like, this isn't even fun anymore. These dogs aren't doing anything, right? And then I'm going to protect myself, but I'm going to let him be who he is from day one until he trusts me. And then I'm going to try to make that dog feel fantastic about himself and the time he gets to spend with me. And then once that whole communication system is built, very simple, basic stuff, I could tell the dog, hey, I don't like that. Hey, good job, buddy. I like that. Keep doing it. Then I could take him out from this confined area and start getting him out into the real world and putting him in front of those things he once struggled with. And I could promise you this, one of two things will happen. Either those behaviors won't be there at all, or they'll be very mild. And when I say, hey, don't do that shit, he goes, oh, okay, I get it. This means everything, everywhere, right? Same thing we do at your house. Yeah, buddy, it's all the same. You don't have to worry about this shit. I got your back. Don't worry about it. That's fucking dog training. But instead, crank up the e-collar, harder on the prong collar. Don't pet that dog. Don't love on that dog. He stays in a crate unless you're taking him out. If he's out, he's on a leash and he's not allowed to look at anyone. He's not allowed to look at anything. If he looks at another person, fry him. He looks at a dog, fry him. This is literally what's out there. This is what people are being told to do. So I know this is a long video. I don't do this much anymore. I've done it for too long. I'm tired of it. But this call fucked me up this morning. I found it very disturbing and upsetting. And I so wish I can get my hands on this dog, because we'd be able to help her so much, so fast. And I could say that just because I've seen her with the dog and I know what he's been through. I know what that dog needs. But more importantly, I know what the owner needs to be able to get through to that dog and change his life forever. So be careful who you seek out, people. When you hear, in my opinion, he's the best trainer on earth, that's someone's opinion. Tell me why you think that. Show me why you think that. Everyone thinks that about someone that's better than them until they see someone better than them. Then they're like, holy fuck, I didn't know this existed. I know, I've been there. I've been through it. So everything I discuss, I've been through. I've made all the mistakes. I've been conned by trainers I thought were remarkable, right? And as you get older and you learn and you keep learning from better and better people, you know the truth. And so the more truth you know, the more truth I can give to people out there that are struggling. So take it for what it is. Hope this helps one person, because if this helps one person, that helps one dog. That should be the main goal of this, right? Number one is the well-being of the animal. How can we help this living, breathing, emotional creature? Stop falling for all the bullshit, guys. Just fucking stop it, okay? Happy New Year to everyone.